What up, guys? It's your boy, Just King ZA. Welcome to the Just King ZA podcast, and let's get straight into it. Well, since the elections of South Africa have passed a couple of days now, and it is only right that we have a conversation, that we talk about the possibilities. There's gonna be coalitions, but we need to talk about the possibility of certain possibilities of certain political parties coming together and siding with each other, you know. And as you can see by the title of this video, ANC and DA, or ANC and MK plus the EFF, that is the question, right? Those are two completely different scenarios, two completely different styles, of leadership, two completely different styles of leadership, two completely different styles of personalities, of ideals and ideas. You know what I'm saying? So those two possibilities cater or bring two completely different South Africas, two completely different timelines, or two completely different alternative realities. You know what I'm saying? So if you watch sci-fi movies, completely different turn around. You know what I'm saying? So we need to get straight into it. We need to get straight into it. This is gonna be quite a long video. Just talking about these things. We need to get straight into it. So let's start with it. ANC plus the DA, right? These are two parties that are very different but similar in a way. You know what I'm saying? They both believe in the Constitution, South Africa, and the Rainbow Nation, and the building of the country, and business, and working with the West. Working with international business and making South Africa an economically viable country. They're all about an outstanding presentation of South Africa to the outside world, so that South Africa can be marketable, can be lovely and good, and attract foreign investment. That's the similarities between the ANC and the DA. You know what I'm saying? So that, to me, that combination is actually quite exciting, if I had to say so myself. It's quite exciting to see how an ANC can be not even radicalized, because the radical part is the other parties, the MK and the EFF. I'm saying that the EFF is a party that can fast track those ideals, those ideals of that South Africa that is open to the West, that is open to big business, that is highly economical, that is highly functioning, that is highly industrial, and all these type of things, technology, and all these type of things. That's what I believe that the DA would do to the ANC. It would stop the bullshitting. It would stop the bullshitting. It would make the machine run quicker. You know what I'm saying? So, not too sure about what they can do for the most underprivileged person. That is where the most social needs, when it comes to social needs of the have-nots, that is where I have a problem with the DA. Because they can cater for the top guys and maybe the mid-tier people economically, but they haven't proven to care about the people at the very bottom. As much as they would give so much to the game, to the country, in terms of like the people who are working, the people who are the clever blacks, and all these people, it will do well. But if we have to study the DA, we have to study Cape Town. We have to study Cape Town, the Western Cape. We have to study it, and from the looks of it, the people are still living in horrible conditions. That's when it comes to the lower areas, the black areas, Kailicha, Cape Flats. The crime is still crazy that side. Cape Flats and all those things. It's very, very horrible, and they haven't dealt with that. But they are protecting the main city and all that, the investment places and all that. But what about the people at the bottom? That's the problem. That's the problem with the DA, and that's what makes some people reluctant to vote for them. Although a lot of people voted for them, but I believe it's because there was no choice. A lot of people didn't have choice, but of course, the white people of South Africa, the coloureds, the Indians, that's what they rather go for. So, but some black people did vote because there was really no option. Because the thing with South Africa is that we don't want to lose what we already have. Yes, we want to gain, we want to provide. Let me just sort out the lighting, since the lighting is changing a little bit. Just bear with me a little. We're good. Yeah, let's go. So we love all that economic talk, but we don't want to lose our economy and our what we are. We don't want every city to crash down. We don't want South Africa to collapse economically. That is why some people would much rather vote for the DA, because these are the people who would rather die than to have a collapsing South Africa. It doesn't matter if they are racist or whatever, but we don't want a crashed system. We don't want a crashed country that can never recover. We don't want a country that is sanctioned and all these things. No, we want this good reputation in South Africa to continue. We want this rainbow nation that has been so successful in terms of like being an economy, or the best economy in Africa. We still want that. We don't want to now hire someone who's so incapable or so incompetent that they run the country to the ground to a point where you cannot bring it up. That is our main aim. Despite the Unite Africa thing, the whatever, we can't unite Africa if we can't keep this. The only reason that people in Africa are looking to us and saying we must stand up and unite Africa, because we have the economy that we have. We are rich. The country is rich. The country is well functioning. Proper infrastructure, proper everything. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine if we'd never had all of that. Imagine if we had crashed 30 years ago. Imagine if Nelson Mandela and them came in and crashed it, and we were just a failed state. We're not. People say we're not a failed state. No, we are the most proper economy in Africa. You know what I'm saying? So it is very, very important to keep this country well functioning, and that's something that we cannot debate. That must be, that is the main thing. Before we go to all these radical things and whatever, we need to make sure that we keep South Africa in a good place. You know what I'm saying? So that is what the DA vote, the ANC coalition with the DA, that is what it offers. That is what it offers. The DA will not allow the ANC to keep crashing the country. The DA will call out the corruption. The DA will call out everything that's happening. The DA will hire competent people, qualified people. The DA will create the right type of environment for government that has integrity and that is for the people, and that's well for the people. They just have to make sure that they really but I trust Steineisen, I trust everyone, I trust Helen Zille, although we have our differences with Helen Zille, guys, but in this case we're going to need good ideals when it comes to maintaining the economy. The only problem we may have is if racism starts to come in the picture. We don't want that. We need to push for a better South Africa, and racism is not going to take us anywhere. And for those who think like apartheid is back, nah, it can't be back. White people don't want apartheid. White people don't want apartheid back. White people actually want a proper country, a country that is well respected. So yeah, it would be crazy, man. It would be a very crazy situation. But one thing I can't believe is that South Africa actually finally decided and said, we are no longer taking the ANC's shit. God damn, this is historic. The people who were saying that this is our 1994 really were in the spiritual realm when they said those things. You know what I'm saying? Because they understood like that we are in elamanqamu manje. Elamanqamu namhlanje. Asambe sewumbulala ufandamu namhlanje. Asambe sewumbulala ufandamu namhlanje. Noma bathi akashaye elamanqamu namhlanje. Yeah, so for all of y'all who know that song, so people actually decided that this is it. CMP, we're going to war. Damn, did they do it? You know what I'm saying? Most of all, the MK people, you know what I'm saying? Straight up, they really did something amazing, and wow. And it's amazing how much power Jacob Zuma has. Wow. But then that just shows you that a president is a president. That person will always have people who are, because that's someone that everyone in the country, once you're a president, everyone in the country knows you. You know what I'm saying? It's not like being a celebrity or a rapper or whatever, where only a few people or a lot of people know you, but it's based on like segments and niches. Even when you are mainstream, like there's still maybe one or two people that don't know you, unless you become like a major. No, but it doesn't compare. A president is known by grannies. There's no one who's in the country that doesn't know who doesn't know their president. You know what I'm saying? So the amount of power that Zuma was able to leverage, what an amazing guy when it comes to strategy and all that. Definitely this is a game-changing move, and really something that documentaries still need to be made about this, what just transpired. Definitely there are documentaries still need to be made. A lot needs to be analyzed, like what the hell happened in 2024, because I can tell you that no one expected any of this. So when it comes to the ANC and DA, that is what I think about. That's what I am deducing from the whole situation. That's what I'm thinking. That's how it's gonna work out. That's how it's gonna work out. It has to be business focused, job creation focused. It has to be for South Africans, and the upliftment of South Africans. The white people in the DA, you will have to not only fight for the rights of the whites anymore. They have to really fight for all. And if they do fight for they become racist and they fight for white people alone, then we have the ANC, and the ANC needs to rebuttal. And you know what I'm saying? So, but damn, this was the end of the ANC, you know what I'm saying? As it was, as a majority ruler, I'm glad I get to capture this moment, because before I used to just watch these things, and never really I'd have thoughts, but I didn't know, like, thanks to people who have motivated me to do this thing, like Pen on the Black Pen, DJ Spoo, Nota, everyone, Lelo N, take your phone and just record. So this is it. This is me right here, right now, everything all at once at the same time. So let's get straight into it. Now let's go into the second option, the second alternative, right? The second alternative is ANC joining with the MK and the EFF. Right, let's start with the MK. Well, the MK is a breakaway of the ANC. The president of the MK is still an ANC member. He's a president of the ANC, still getting benefits, still, yeah. you know. So, how does this fare? Is this a way of him to get back in a way and be pardoned and all these things? Was this just a tantrum move to just throw a tantrum and just to show, recognize me, yo, take me seriously, take me seriously? Was this just a move for that? If it is, then we're in deep shit. You know what I'm saying? We're in deep trouble, because it means that if the ANC can just appease Zuma, then everything they can really literally just be the same thing again, but this time appeasing Jacob Zuma and his people and ensuring that the ANC goes back to what he thought he wanted it to be, because he says the ANC of now is not the ANC of old. Is this just a way of Zuma to bring the people, this current ANC, down to his knees so he can come back and have his way? If so, then that is, let's see, the ANC is at 40%, the MK is at 14, I believe, percent. So if the ANC and MK can come together, it will be 54% for the ANC, for that coalition. You know what I'm saying? So that can bring the ANC back to a good standing, to a point where they can dethrone the DA. They can dethrone the DA, the EFF, they can dethrone everything. They can have that power, that Jacob Zuma power, and then they can just function. But then they'll have to function at Jacob Zuma's terms and conditions. You know what I'm saying? So that would be interesting. That would be interesting. But there's a high chance that we can still have a corrupt, government as we used to have. We can still have that corruption. Jacob Zuma could just bring back his corruption and the Guptas and all those things, that whole situation. He can recapture it, because now it looks like it's a situation of like people who are trying to capture and recapture. Zuma's people captured the government. Ramaphosa came in, removed the capturing of Zuma's thing, and then captured it with his own people. And then, it doesn't, like, if that's a thing of just two camps who are trying to capture the country, the state capture, trying to capture the state and all that, then is it really a way forward? Or are we just going back to Zuma's presidency? You know what I'm saying? So that's where the danger is when it comes to MK and ANC for me. We'll just be having another ANC, as it was, And it'll be interesting to see. But you see, I mentioned about the DA and how it's scary. Even this MK and ANC situation is also scary to think about it. So if we go further now, we have the EFF who could come in, right? The EFF right now barely has 10%. So if they come together with the ANC, they'll have 49%. So which is still not enough, It's not enough. The EFF actually needs a higher majority party working with it so that it can at least gain some positions in the coalition and be part of government, That's the best thing they can hope for right now. They can, maybe Julius Malema can be minister of something, which is a damn shame for a guy who was saying, I'm going to be the president, I'm the man, I'm what, to now just beg for poor positions and be at someone's mercy. You know what I'm saying? So if the breakaways join, if the EFF joins, they will have to be and if they join ANC and the MK, they have to bow down to Cyril Ramaphosa and Jacob Zuma. And then they have to just get those minimum position. I don't think Flair Shivambu will get the position of finance minister. Yeah, so, but the problem with that is that Julius Malema could be getting what he always wanted, to be part of the ANC, but outside the ANC. So basically have his benefits, because he was chased out of the ANC. This could be a way of him trying to recapture what he used to have, getting positions within the ANC, putting his people inside, and and having some sort of leverage to actually being at a good position to actually negotiate something higher, something bigger, something, you know what I'm saying, and on his terms, and still owning his political party. So it is quite interesting. But the problem there is that there's a high possibility of corruption, further corruption from all these people. These people can just be like, oh, here we are, we've established ourselves. The ANC is still the ANC. The former president has established a whole new party. Julius Malema has done so well, has established a very big party. They could actually join and become like a monster, like, you know what I'm saying? But on the positive side of that, right? On the positive side is that Jacob Zuma and Malema and his people could also radicalize the ANC to move forward with their plans. Everything that they promised, they could put a foot on their necks to say, hey, let's do this. Otherwise, we're gonna break away from you again. We're gonna go to wherever we go to. We're gonna rebuttal. We're just gonna fight with you guys. We're just gonna go to. We're not gonna agree on you with everything. We're just gonna. You guys must plead, because you need us in order to have a majority. And then they can say, we need this. Land expropriation, nationalization, this, all those things that they were saying in their manifestos. They could really strong arm the ANC to doing those things. You know what I'm saying? So that is the positive side, that except the open border one. The open border one is out of the gate. Until such a time that South Africa is standing and the people of South Africa themselves are standing, the black people especially are standing financially, are well off. The unemployment rate is at 5%. That is what the country we're looking for. Then we can open borders. Then we can help African brothers. We can work together. We can do whatever we're doing. But we know that the unemployment rate is so low. People are working. People are doing well. And their jobs are not under threat. Then we can take foreigners and whatever for those specific positions that they can take. The special skills, you know what I'm saying? When you come to South Africa, you come in with a special skill. You know what I'm saying? So, that's exactly how it is, man. It's exactly how it is. It's a very, very interesting time. But it is good that ANC, EFF and MK are breakaways of the ANC. Because I still do believe in the ANC, I still do believe in them. I didn't want to give up on them. I didn't want to give up on them, but I will agree that they definitely needed a hiding. They needed a beating. They needed some sort of wake-up call, because there's nothing that they can, they're very humbled right now. And in the next 5 years, everything, we shouldn't be having this unemployment rate that we have right now. No, we shouldn't be having this unemployment rate that we have right now. We should be having a very good low unemployment rate. We should be having good numbers. You know what I'm saying? We should be having really, really good numbers. People should be employed. All the young professionals who are qualified should be working. If you can't employ them, you should create opportunity for them. Work with your partners. in the States or whatever, organize for these children, for this young youth to be moved somewhere, and then they go and gain experience, and then they can come back, and then they can bring more skills here. You're like, you treat it as an agent thing. You take the youth here, you see their qualification. No, these people need to be working. You work with them with America, China, and all these things. You go and place them there. You go and place them. You place them. You get visas for them and whatever. They go and work, and then over time, with their own money, now they are well off. They can come back to South Africa and contribute to the economy, and know that the government actually did something for me. They couldn't provide jobs at the time, but they actually, because it's hard to search for jobs on your own and overseas and trying to get visas and all that, the government should be assisting with all those things to make sure that no qualified person, no engineer, no logistician, no business marketing people, all these type of things, doctors, all these things, they shouldn't be unemployed. They should be somewhere. Take them to a developed country. Take them somewhere. They go there, they get the work, they get the experience, they get whatever. Then over time they can come back. And I don't think other countries will have a problem with that. I don't think so, because you are bringing in skilled labor. You know what I'm saying? So, and then while they're there, you create, for the ones who are left here, you create jobs, you do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Really, we need to fast track this thing. It needs to be fast tracked. Otherwise, there's no party that's gonna really have it good. Because every election is just some other weird party is gonna come in and take over, And now it opens us up to enemies, because enemies can look at that. None of these parties are looking out for the people, and then they can come with their own agenda and infiltrate and win. You know what I'm saying? So this election, it should be a wake-up call. It should have been a wake-up call long ago. It should have been a wake-up call long ago. It should have been but now it's a wake-up call right now, and people need to wake up. People need to really understand that, wow, people can speak. What happens next time when the rest of the youth, because right now not everyone voted. About 16 million people voted, and there was 27 million registered people. Just imagine next time the number grows. You guys are gonna get 20% ANC. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be very, very brutal. This is already brutal, and you have to live with this for the next 5 years. And you're just gonna go down and down and down. These 5 years need to be years of real radical transformation, especially for the youth and the employment rate. You know what I'm saying? So this is really a humbling experience. So yeah, man, when it comes to that, those are my two things. EFF and MK are ANC breakoffs. And it's either the ANC is able to capture them and get them to give them positions and all that, and silence them. Or this can be a thing of people not agreeing with each other, or this can be a thing of those parties forcing the ANC to deliver on their promises, and executing all those things, nationalization, all those type of things, those land expropriation, empowerment of the people of South Africa, the benefit of the lowest of the lowest, really strong arming the ANC to do good, and removing certain people who are not capable and not not competent for the jobs. That's what the good that we can probably expect, if that can happen. So that's how it is, man. For me, I'd like you guys to write there in the comments, which one do you prefer? Which coalition do you prefer? You know what I'm saying? Which coalition do you prefer? For me, in a perfect world, I would wish for the ANC, MK, and EFF to work together, but really, really push each other to become extremely well and to radicalize and transform this country, transform, make it really good. Especially when it comes to youth employment, when it comes to all those things, the economy, the black economy, But I do know that my black people sometimes are not to be trusted, So sometimes this is a dream world, right? Sometimes it's a dream world because the moment you trust someone, they show you another color that you never imagine, You never imagine that they could have those type of colors. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So a lot is about to happen in South Africa. You know what I'm saying? A lot is about to happen. Really, really, this is really our 1994. 2024 was the second 1994. A lot of changes were made. You know what I'm saying? So, what a time to be alive. And as a South African, these are other scary times, or what a time to be alive. You know what I'm saying? Or very revolutionary times. So much is gonna happen in terms of like the country. Yeah, so many uncertainties, but change is good, right? I love change. Whenever I feel like this, I feel good because it usually means a positive change. It usually means a new chapter, a new. This is how it feels when God comes through. You know what I'm saying? You get scared, but you really understand that my God has got me, and He has heard our cries because we were crying for years. Being in Stockholm syndrome, but the Lord has showed up. And as for the Africans that are saying South Africans are dumb or stupid, or they made a wrong decision or whatever, you need to tell us about your country, what happened, what's happening, and you need to tell us why your such calculated brain or your well-educated brain, why haven't you guys fixed the problems in your country? And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I'm just saying that why are your countries not standing? Because you can lie all you want, but your countries are not standing. And a lot of it has to do with your leaders and the decisions you made, the paths you took. So if you guys couldn't take the right path, or the path that wouldn't lead to all the bad things that have happened, the power struggles and all that, the corruption and all that, and why have your paths led you to a place where you can't even live in your own country? You have to go overseas. You know what I'm saying? We know best about South Africa. We have, it almost seems as if some of the guys over in Africa, they think like we should have kicked out the whites, and they can come to South Africa, and we can go and we can go there, and we can just, this can be a African state where it's just everyone is just, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we did those things, South Africa would not be what it is today, because we did not understand farming, we did not understand all these things. So much that we didn't understand. That's why you saw even Nelson Mandela taking white people and putting them in his government, because he knew that there's things to learn from these people. These people they understand something about the economy, they understand something about governance, they understand, you know what I'm saying? They understand systems, they understand, you know what I'm saying? So many different things that we can learn from, we can work with as co-South Africans, right? And we can benefit, both of us can benefit, and then we can just avoid, having to kick people out and being inhuman. You don't respond to inhumanity with inhumanity, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? For me, which was a brilliant move by Nelson Mandela, even when he took the KwaZulu-Natal province and gave it to the IFP in Qatar, you know what I'm saying, Freedom Party, that was a strategic move, to stop any type of violence that could happen. And that's how we need to move as people. Stop violence. Violence destroys the country, and for you to bounce back and build, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be a very long, hideous process. very, very long, hideous process, and you have to find an amicable ground. You know, you have to find a common ground. You know what I'm saying? So, as South Africa, we always need to find that common ground and move as a rainbow nation. Even with all these parties, they must find a common ground. They must, and then must work. You know what I'm saying, towards that common ground. You know what I'm saying? So they must work towards that common ground. Common ground leads us somewhere. But when we don't have a common ground, when we are at squabbles with each other, and there's no understanding, then that's how you get this African states. We need to, every tribe, every race, every whatever, you know, in Nigeria, Fulani people, Igbo people, all these people, they need to find common ground that benefits everyone, that does not exploit anyone, but everyone is benefiting, every tribe. That's how now this common ground, you can use it to become government, to work and blossom. And this common ground must not be destroyed. It must always exist. And that's how you get a South Africa. And that's the solution for all African countries. So before you guys can do that, is gonna, you can't run. You need to come and create common ground. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, your boy, Just Kings RA, signing out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Yo, don't forget.